Hello everyone, my name is Madeline, aka MC Lin for the win, and today I have some manga recommendations for y'all. I've been thinking about making this video for a while, and I have included some manga which I think are kinda underrated in my opinion, and some of them are beginner friendly, so let's get it! Let's start off with Blue Lock. Blue Lock is a great beginner-friendly manga about a guy named Yoichi Izagi, sorry if I'm butchering the name, who gets invited to this football, or like soccer, America, training program, which is called Blue Lock. And he meets different players there. They compete with each other in order to get selected in the Japanese top team, and are also being trained to become the so-called ego strikers. I've only read a few chapters, but I'm loving it already so far. I swear to God, the art is truly amazing, and there's some humor here and there, which I completely love, and I cannot wait for the other covers or other volumes to get released because oh my gosh, mwah, chef's kiss. So next up is Didark. So Didark is basically about a legend that says that if you possess any bones of Saha Sanko, that you will be granted any wish, and Sanko goes through space with his friend in order to find the man who has cursed him. And honestly, if you love Dorohedoro, which I will be talking about, you will definitely love this manga, I am telling you. So, Dorohedoro is about Kaimon, who has the head of a lizard and a human body trying to take revenge on the person who has cursed him. And you will see Kaimon and Nikaido fighting everyone in order to figure out the truth, since Kaimon doesn't really remember what has happened to him. And I have watched the anime. I didn't really like it at first, but eventually the manga, oh my gosh, the art style is so unique. It has really grown on to me. I love it. It's so detailed, and this made me really love the series even more. Dr. Stone is about a high school student named Senku, and he's basically this genius scientist. All of a sudden, a light beam occurs on Earth and turns everyone to stone. After turning into normal again, Senku and his friends end up reliving in the prehistoric age, and they are trying to build a new society from scratch. So I really recommend this manga to anyone who has just started reading manga, since this is really witty and it has a well-paced story. And unfortunately, I have failed my physics classes. But thanks to Senku, I have learned way more in a few chapters than in those classes, and started to love science even more because of it, so big shout out to him. Another beginner-friendly manga is Hell's Paradise. So Hell's Paradise is about Gabimaru the Hollow, who has been sentenced to death for the many crimes that he has committed, and initially accepts his fate. However, he comes across a woman called Yamada and heads to this dangerous island where they have to find this elixir of life. And if they do, Yamada will grant him a wish, but of course there are many others seeking after the same. All I can say is that Hell's Paradise is absolutely amazing. Right when I started reading it, I was honestly amazed by the jaw-dropping art, and it has a very interesting plot. For the next recommendation, I have Mashal. Now, I know that in my collection video I have completely mispronounced the name, but
I'm going to remind you in advance that I'm very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving a fuck!
It's about Mash, who lives in this magic world where everyone can use magic for everything, and despite training and bulking up, he is the only one who cannot use magic. But honestly, he doesn't really mind it, and one day other magic users are out for him, and he eventually ends up in this Hogwarts-like school where magic users are being taught how to use their magic. Even though he cannot use magic, his powerful muscles will help him out, on his adventures in this magical school. So honestly, this is such a funny manga. I have laughed my ass off. I have no ass anymore, so yeah. If you like action comedy, this one is for you. Sakamoto Days, also a beginner-friendly manga, which is about Mr. Sakamoto, who used to be this very famous hitman, but has put his life as assassin aside to marry the love of his life, get a kid, gain weight, and live as a normal store owner. And one day another assassin visits his shop and comes with an offer that Mr. Sakamoto cannot refuse. So it's a really funny manga. I've enjoyed it so much so far that I've immediately purchased the few first volumes of it. And let's not forget the fact that Mr. Sakamoto is hella badass. For recommendation number 8, I have Summertime Rendering. It's a horror/thriller manga about a guy named Shinpei, and he is visiting his hometown to attend a funeral of his childhood friend Ushio. His best friend So suspects that something is a bit off about her death, and all of the things of the island start getting really weird. And together, Shinpei and So start investigating what actually has happened to Ushio's body and what is going on with the island. Not going to lie, at first I thought that this was a slice of life or romance story, since the title sounded quite happy to me. But after digging deeper into it, yeah, it was completely different from my expectations. Despite that, I really enjoyed the series so far, and I'm also watching the anime, so I highly recommend this one. The one, the only Promised Neverland. Promised Neverland is basically about this orphanage where the young kids desire to get adopted, and they live this so-called very good life, quote unquote. And every time a child gets adopted, the children always promise each other to write each other back. But each time a kid leaves, they never hear from them again, which is kinda sus, so that's why Emma, Norman, and Ray start investigating this, and they discover the purpose they were raised for, so yeah, all I can say is that this manga is absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, magnificent, brilliant, and whatever Lady Gaga has said. I swear to God, this manga is so underrated. Oh my gosh, the anime is seriously done so dirty. I mean, season 1 was really okay, but season 2, that was 2-pack of freaking ass. That shit stank like freaking dog shit. They skipped 4 arcs and so much character development. Honestly, I'm demanding for a Promised Neverland Brotherhood because this is unacceptable.
Unacceptable condition! Unacceptable!
Despite season 2 being really shitty, it does offer me the time to collect the manga in peace, since no one is really paying attention to the manga nowadays. So yeah, anyway, it's a 50-50. It's a very beginner-friendly manga, and I highly recommend it if you like a thriller/fantasy story. Last but not least, Finland Saga, one of the GOATs. Peak fiction. One of the most amazing masterpieces that my eyes have ever laid on. It's a historical story about Vikings with Thorfinn as main protagonist, who is Icelandic and belongs to this place called Finland. Now, Finland was the name that Vikings gave North America, and as a kid, Thorfinn has never experienced war, and on his wild journey, Thorfinn tries to take revenge on a man who has committed an inhuman crime. I'm telling y'all, people need to stop sleeping on freaking Finland Saga. It is really that good, since it does include some historical events and also some historical figures, but still adds this sense of fiction, which makes it so enjoyable. And I love the level of realism in this manga, since you can really tell that the plot and the characters are very well thought out. Plot 10 out of 10, characters 10 out of 10, concept 10 out of 10, even the enjoyment 10 out of freaking 10. It might be a bit boring to others, but trust me when I say that it is so worth it to read the manga. You will honestly not regret it, and if you do, I'm sorry, but there's something up with your brain cells. I'm sorry. So that's it for the recommendations that I have for y'all. If y'all enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like or dislike. I don't really freaking care. Feel free to subscribe, and I wish y'all a wonderful day. Bye!